Member for Mount Waverley.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and can I also add my congratulations on your birthday? I would sing, but I won't because I'll do you all a favour. What a great government's business program we have, and isn't it fantastic to be back in bigger numbers? And I think we're all sounding very refreshed and renewed and ready to get back into it. And this year I think will be the series of government business programs that are all about rebuilding and continuing that investment in the Victorian people so they can get back to the pre-COVID activities that our economy is quickly rebounding towards. Obviously, the bills that we're debating, the public drunkenness bill, I think is very timely. And you think about the Royal Commission into deaths in custody from 91. I mean, that's 30 years ago. If we compare the size of my mobile phone 30 years ago, we've come a long way in technology, but I'm looking forward to my chance to speak on that bill later in the day. Workplace injury, again, another timely bill, especially when we think about Royal Commission coming up later this week, and we're going to hear more about them, and mental health being such a crucial field of our health responses all the time, and obviously very strong aspects of the last 12 months in relation to how people have dealt with the trials of 2020. So knowing that having a bill that addresses the needs of mental health people with mental health conditions from workplace incidents is going to be a very, very important move, and one that is another thing that we've committed to do, and now we're going back to doing it. Education bill, which is the third bill, the amendment and miscellaneous bill. This government has shown year after year after year after year our commitment to education, and listening to the Deputy Premier, Minister of Education earlier, 14 new schools just opened up, 48 I believe that is, of the 100 that were committed to build by 2026. So we're already just shy of halfway there, and that's very exciting for not only us members in this House, but all Victorians, all parents or expecting parents. We don't have any new schools in Mount Waverley district, which is a bit of a shame. I'd love to have some new schools, but we are upgrading all of those, which I did mention in my budget speech before we all went on leave. And again, we're taking note on the budget as later this week, and I'll be listening very closely to hear some of my colleagues talk about all their local wins and local aspects and those local commitments that we're doing, because whilst we all know of the great big statewide things that we're doing, the $5.3 billion in housing, those monumental investments in Victorian people that we're making, sometimes I don't get around all of those little local aspects. I'd love to hear from Member of Frankston and Narry Warren that are sitting in here, just to hear their commitments. And if our Manager of Opposition Business isn't called away to the CFA, maybe he can tell me about what's going on in Rowville. That'd be nice to hear, because I'm sure there's some excellent stuff. I'd love to say, I'll buy you a coffee. There you go. So fantastic government business program that we have. It strikes me, going back to the public drunkenness bill, and that really is a bill that will have a great influence on our society, especially in respect for our Indigenous Australians. And I was lucky enough earlier last week for Australia Day to join a good mate of mine, Dave Arden, on stage at Sydney Mining Music Bowl for the Share the Spirit gig. And it's fantastic to see the talent of our Indigenous Aussies on show that day, and the way that they celebrate their survival. And I've got some stuff to say later today when we do debate the bill. Obviously, I won't do it now, but that was some very poignant conversations on that day, and it's just proud for me to be in a government where we are making real change. That although we may have been able to do it previously, Maybe we should have done it previously. We are doing it now. So I commend the government as